I love God. He is so amazing. He is the great champion of my heart. Praise the Lord, everybody. I just wanted to present the challenge of us loving God like He loves us. And I know a lot of people say, well, you can't love God as much as He loves you, but you can love Him with all that you have and give all that you are and commit all of you to Him and watch the relationship grow into something so spectacular and so marvelous. I am ecstatic. I'm so happy just to be in relationship with God. And so I just challenge you to love God with all you are. When you love God with all you are, it opens so many doors. It opens so many doors. It looses those shackles that hold you because you realize the true freedom of your relationship with God and that nothing is impossible and that there's nothing that He can't do, there's nothing that He can't be for you, there's nothing that you can't have that is according to His will, because your faith and your hope is in Him and He never lets us down. Even when it seems like it, He's not letting us down. If He doesn't give it to us, it's not for us in that time or not for us at all, because He's the God that cares. He's the God that will, go to bat for us. He's the God that will make a way for us. He is our King. He's the God that sees us, and His mind is on us. He's mindful of us. He wants us to walk in, the abundance of who He is. And as we walk as King's kids, we have an inheritance in Him. There are privileges of being a child of the kingdom. And although we don't serve Him for the privileges, they're there. I simply serve God because I love Him, not because of what He provides. I thank Him for all that He provides. But when I found love in Him, when I found the purity, the trueness of love, it was something so amazing for me that He could love me, and I not even know Him, that He could love me and die for me, and I knew nothing about Him. I wasn't even serving Him, and He had already made plans for my life. When I realized the greatness of that type of love, that you just love a person because they're a person. You love a person because God made them a person, and with no strings attached, that you give yourself in love like God gave Himself in love through Jesus Christ. I think that is the most powerful thing. I encourage you not to settle for anything less than that type of love, because God set the standard for what love is supposed to be. And a lot of people, they settle for, well, I'll never have this or I'll never get that. I wouldn't settle, because love is something that, if you're going to go in the covenant, it's something that is supposed to last forever. And I believe you should be happy in your covenant. You should be happy in your love. And if you're not happy in your love, then you have to ask yourself, what's going on? Did I do something wrong, or did someone else choose not to? Scriptural wise, even divorce isn't, not God's perfect will. God said that divorce was made possible in the Old Testament because of the hardness of man's heart. That means someone was out of line with the purpose of God, because God doesn't want our hearts hardened. So at the end of the day, in His perfect will, the divorce is not His will. Covenant is God's will, an everlasting covenant. He's never put a covenant before us and taken His word back, because He's God. And so I think that we should follow this same example in love, that we should love our brothers unconditionally. Um, Sometimes people rub you the wrong way. Let's just be real about it. Some people, you have to pray about it. You have to, talk to God about it, because some people, they do rub you the wrong way, and they didn't do you right. And they don't care that they didn't do you right. But you have to find a way to reach beyond the breaking the rope and just love anyway, because that's what God gave for us. All the times that we let Him down, all the times we were disobedient, all the times we didn't do what He told us to do at the time, and then sometimes just blatantly said, God, I'm not doing that. but he still loved us. He still gave us chance after chance after chance. And he pursued us with his love. The Bible said a man can't come to God except he first be drawn, which means God pursued us. And we say that we found him. We found him finding us. And that's how that worked. We got the memo late, but he already knew what was going on. So I encourage you to seek God, seek a relationship with God, seek a place with God, seek an established place of dwelling with God in His presence in worship, and understand that God doesn't want to pour out His wrath on man. God simply wants to love man. Receiving the wrath of God is man's choice. That means that it's a consequence to some action that man has, committed. But God's perfect will for man is to simply love them and for man to be with him forever. So if you don't have a relationship with God, or you're not as close to God as you should, I encourage you to seek a relationship with God, because there's so much more to find out about Him. And I guarantee you, you will not be sorry. It's the greatest love I can ever know. I could trade God for nothing. He is everything to me. And even when I feel like, why try? He reminds me that it's not for all the people that are around me, it's for Him. And how can I say no to the God that said yes to me, that hung from the 6th to the 9th hour just for me? When I wasn't thinking about Him, He was thinking about me. When I didn't know the power of love, He showed the power of love. So I can't say no to Him. And I encourage you to study Him, to know Him. Because once you really know Him and understand His love, I don't believe you're going to say no to Him either. Because you will be found something that you cannot find anywhere else but in Him. So, flawed and all, He loved me. He loved me to change me into what I was supposed to be. I know what sin did to me, what sin was separating me from this love that He has given me, this love that I now know is what sin was separating me from. But now that I'm in right standing with God, I can just cry, Abba, Father, and know that He hears me, and know that He has an expected end for me. And I know that greatness awaits me because of my relationship with Him. What is there that could be more important than that? So I encourage you, find your relationship with God and know Him and love Him and discover that great relationship and that great covenant with Him. God bless you.